Welcome, everyone, to the Will-O-Wisp Woods, as well as Hoodie's stream, because he is currently streaming. Welcome. We are currently in episode 12 of Steam and Rain. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you all for coming along. Thank you all for being here. I apologize that you got lost with the Will-O-Wisps, but I do hope that tonight's story will be entertaining enough to keep your attention. Nonetheless, welcome! So, last we left off, we were in our wonderful little gypsy town after our group had finished fighting off the tar creature that reminded a lot of our players of Venom, which is both good and bad because Venom is probably my favorite character, but it was an attempt at trying to make things interesting. Nonetheless, after
still good.
Dealing with such creature and making their way back and finding a place to rest, our group was then able to realize that Lars, with his new magics, had set up his own little fort, where he had then began working on different things. The group had begun doing their own little thing here and there, and after some rest, some time to themselves, and after Darrow had finished inscribing his great rune, or had been working on his great rune, he was called upon by Jade at the time, and Thormir and Darrow had made their way over to this little fort. With all three together, Jade had exposed a little bit of information about herself to the group, as she revealed her name is Fayte, and that with Lars needing a scale, she figured it best to share with the others as well why she's here in actuality. She pulled her shirt off to the side, and the group saw that on her shoulder, as well as on both of her shoulders, and she had told that it was on her shoulders, her legs, and the back of her her hips and the backs of her calves. She has scales. Black scales, shining and shimmering, that grow from her skin. And Lars has been using one to work on some things, with a bit of clearing up of small misunderstandings at first. The group was then able to move forward with their individual things now that they have more information on the girl, seeing as how the package is not actually related to this nobleman at all, and seems to be just using that as a means of transport and protection. Being told that the easiest way to make herself safest is to tell a nobleman that she's related to him, she now finds herself under the protection of the three that are supposed to be transporting her. Nonetheless, the group takes this information and the fort and finds a place to rest. The next morning, waking up to find that Fayte is not in the fort at all. The little tower that Lars has made for himself. And heading outside, they find Fayte laying on the ground in the mud, with the rain kind of flowing down atop her. And the group learns a little bit more about Fayte. After some back and forth and the group learns a little bit more, they make their way into the little gypsy town that they have protected and found some peace with, to find that Euden and the gypsies are going to be moving once again. to a place that's safer, or at least more hidden. Now, the group has a few options of what they can do, and it seems that staying here is no longer one of them. As within the next few days, the group will be left to an abandoned town. You would in saying that within the next few days, the group will, or the gypsies will be gone. So, the day is yours. The day has begun. What would you all like to do?
Where are we going? Aren't we gonna go somewhere? Back on the road, or just stay here for a bit longer?
I'm guessing that the gypsies and you are still around.
They're still around, but you can see that they've already begun packing up a few crates with the ropes tied to them to make them into makeshift backpacks. You've got a few small wagons.
I think if anything we should say our goodbyes.
I agree.
Do notice that as you walk back out and you begin looking around, the woman that Darrow had seen, or that one of you had seen reading, is much paler than the others. The undead woman that the necromancer Ewan had mentioned. And now that reality sits in a little bit. And the father packs while the undead mother holds the hand of the child. And the other gypsies are wandering around, fixing things up, packing things up, moving things.
I have to ask, is the mother actually cognitive, like soul-wise? Like, that's still her, or no? No. Yeah.
You're not entirely sure. From this distance, it looks... It looks almost empty, but then again, the little girl doesn't seem to notice.
Alright.
So,
Boromir doesn't do anything to acknowledge the woman, really. Just leaves it be. Doesn't have the heart to do anything. Huh?
had to turn you up. Sorry.
Oh no, you're good. I just saw on the screen that I had like options.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
I forget.
I've never seen before.
I forget that I had. I forget that I have the availability to do that over here.
But chooses not to do anything to arise to the child or the father. Just let them be. Could debate about actually offering a hand, but would like to talk to Darrow and Lars first about what we're wanting to do for the day.
Already said what we should do for the day. Find you out and give them our respects, and then we can head back to the road. Hopefully either make more progress or find our ride.
Alrighty, then that's what we're... I'm not against that. Makes it easier.
Alright.
But, chooses nothing to do anything to arise to the child or the father. Just let them be. Could debate about actually offering a hand, but would like to talk to Darrow and Lars first about what we're wanting to do for the day.
Would hate for him to pass us.
Is Arati anywhere nearby?
Ferrati, she's
Yeah,
following
Arati.
y'all around.
We
Right.
need to find you Auden.
You all did.
He's around. You do see him as you all have finished talking with him and kind of made your way back out of his house. He's made his way out and he's been getting the undead alarms to kind of move off to the side, and he's been getting the few undead that the gypsies know of, or the gypsies had known of, and all of them know of, are helping to pack things into the small wagons to make things easier on the actual people.
That's fun.
He's not hard to find at all. He's kind of in the center of everything that would be undead in this area. So,
Yep, I'm just ready for the road.
What are you doing?
I'm just waiting on y'all. I'm not gonna force y'all to do anything, but then again, the game is yours. Whatever decisions you make, whatever
When
questions
you
you
look like
have.
you're doing stuff, don't want to do anything.
No, you're fine. I'm just moving things around so I can see everything.
Well,
Because I want to be able
like
to
to
see all of the chats and different things. But
like to go to Yelden and, as kind of planned with Darrow and Lars, to pay our respects and say farewell.
as I said, he's not difficult to find at all. He's kind of in the center of everything, controlling what he can to make sure that everything is moving smoothly for the gypsies here. You do notice that the gypsies, for the most part, don't seem to like give you the wide berth that they did originally anymore after everything that you've done in the short time that you all have been here. But you do notice that they aren't outright walking up to you and being like, "Hey, how are you?" like making small talk kind of thing. They seem more like they're acquainted with you now. They have an idea that you have good intentions for the most part. They're not off put or put towards you at all. So as you make your way over to Ueden, he's, as I said, he's controlling a lot of the undead, trying to make things easier for this move. He's got his spellbook in hand, and as he uses different controls, the spellbook is flipping from page to page, depending on what he's doing.
So he's busy.
Not necessarily busy, but he is helping.
Alright. As
Just
said. As you're saying.
more or less just going along with the entire group and saying, well, Yuden, thank you for your hospitality. Hope everything goes well with you and your moves, and if you need us, should know where to find us.
Of course, I remember you had said that before. If you all have any need of me in the future for any kind of help in any way, feel free to call upon me. I will be here with the gypsies, of course, so it might take a bit to find me, but I'm sure that it won't be difficult.
You say you're going near the falls, right?
Yes, it seems that they're wanting to make their way to the northeast of Shanto to the falls to try and set up there. They seem to have a place somewhere hidden around that area. So I will be helping them to move that way and keeping them safe along the journey, and we will be there hopefully soon. They seem to have some means of getting there quicker than the normal people.
All right.
That sounds really interesting. Have they clued you to any way how they do so?
I'm not entirely sure. I think it has something to do with following nature, but it's beyond me. It's either some kind of tracking or some kind of natural magic, and it's interesting to say the least, but they seem to know shortcuts.
Must say, I do have to say, sorry for how we first introduced ourselves when we first met you. Um, but
You're the one saying sorry. You sat outside in the rain while I was pointing a sword at his throat.
well,
I don't blame any of you.
I won't have to say it.
I really don't. In all honesty, it's a normal reaction. I'd be worried if you just knocked on my door after seeing all the undead and went, "Hey, how are you? We've got cookies."
Well,
That's
I'm
also
just happy.
fair.
I'm just
I-
happy we didn't do
Uh,
the typical shoot first, ask questions later.
I am rather glad about that, but uh, it probably helps that you all found me in my own home with my book in hand, so I was likely less threatening. However, I do hope that you all are much safer about your own personal safety in the future.
We'll do our best on that part for sure.
Safe travels, you wouldn't.
And to you as well.
Yeah.
Start walking towards, back towards the road.
Oh, on my travels here, as he calls out to you, walking off, somewhere on Shanto, there's an item that my homeland was looking for the origin of.
Well,
It's a rather strong item, and you all may make use of it if you find it. But I have yet to find anything on it. It's some kind of puzzle to get to it. So in the future, if you all find yourselves within a room of puzzles of any kind, whether you're cave exploring or something or other, you may have found the item. Keep that in mind and be safe.
Any spots?
appreciate it.
Do you know any more information upon such item?
But yeah, that would be lovely.
Something about an amulet. It's a rather strong one. Meant to do something. It was going to be used for the military.
On our history?
Either or. Mr. Darrow can do one too.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same either way.
But different information. Take a real long think
It's
about which one
horrible.
you want to do.
It's horrible.
What
13.
were the possible rules? History and what?
History or Arcana?
I'm gonna do Arcana.
I'll do history, considering the character. 14.
14? Okay. And you said you got a 13 for Arcana?
Mhm.
13 for Arcana. You would know that there are a multitude of different items of magic and power kind of scattered about the 3 lands as well as the multiple islands. And a lot of the arcane followers of knowledge are trying to find as many as possible to either study them, use them, anything of the like.
Lars is
And-
just sitting there like, do you have any idea how little that narrows it down?
It's like amulet of forsaken, amulet of devouring.
are- Yeah, there are a number of different amulets that have been brought up from history that many believe could be used for different things. Not so many used for militaristic uses, but that still doesn't narrow the list down enough to be like, oh, I know which one it is. And on top of that, there's so many that are undiscovered or just being discovered that it's a long shot by itself. Dara, you said you got a 14?
Mhm.
You would
14 in
know.
history.
You would know that there are stories of an amulet being hidden away by a follower of one of the gods. You can't quite remember which one, but one of the gods, an amulet was being used in the name of them, though you can't really remember if the amulet itself is actually of that god or if it was simply being used in the name of that god, but the abilities that it had were rather strong for what they were. And you remember that it had the ability to make an area do something. It was an area of effect kind of of magic. But you're not certain from there what it could be. However, you do know that somewhere on Shanto there are a number of different items like that are kind of scattered about the lands in different ways. Either they're just lost to time or lost to the weather or lost to the land itself. And it seems that one of them drew the eye of a rather interesting military power. So,
I'm taking fucking notes.
that's good. I like when my players take notes because that helps me and it helps you. So, that's the information that you all have, at least.
Wahoo.
Wahoo!
Let me see if I can get a new notebook. Because I do have a number.
You ever find that one D12 that went missing?
No, I didn't.
We just have to keep reminding him.
This one will work.
I guess it's in the washer.
No, it didn't fall in my clothes. As easy as that would be.
Ice Tower.
So, you all have your information.
Mm-hmm.
Ewadin's, of course, happy to have met you all, it seems. You all have your information. What would you like to do? Are you going back to the road now?
On the road again.
That's
Yeah, Boromir has nothing else to say, really.
Yeah. It's gonna be a lot of traveling today.
Travel
mm,
is... Let me look at my inventory.
On the road again. I just can't wait to get on the road again. Doing things that I have never been. Why am I taking notes on paper? I have a notes folder.
You tell us.
I'm autistic and kind of dumb, and it doesn't mix well.
the ADHD's setting in. God damn it, Matt.
Got to get a little sexy.
Stop talking. Please, just stop talking. I hated every moment of what just came out of your mouth.
Here, you can use this on him if you want.
Oh, that's so kind of you, Levi.
So, you all are going back onto the road. I would like D100 rolls. Also, pick high or low, all of you.
I was happy you said that now.
High
I'll
is
go
in
with low.
above 50, basically.
Hi.
Just high numbers. High or low.
75.
Going low.
Did you throw your D100?
Yes, I bowled the D100.
I got a 35.
Gave us some time to properly spin.
I got 8.
Alright. And you chose what? Highs or lows?
I chose low and I got 35.
Yeah. James,
Yeah,
you said lows as well?
I said highs and I got 75.
High. And then, Hootie, which one did you say? High or low?
La.
Low. That's 2 for low, 1 for high. Alrighty. And I rarely ever see single digits.
I'm just special like that.
Yes,
Very
you are.
rarely. Very rarely.
I got
do
helmets
see-
to prove it.
Very rarely do I see single digits.
I saw that smirk, James.
It's only a 10% chance. Actually, more around 9. Really gonna go with actual single digits. How did you burn
Numbers.
one side of your fucking whisker?
Mind your business.
Alrighty. So, you all are traveling along. The rain, of course, pouring down as you travel. And you all continue forward with your journey. Motherfucker, that's the second time I've dropped this fucking pencil already.
I'm gonna be taking down the note that I put on the tree. Before we
Did
actually...
you stick it with an arrow? Do you want your arrow back? Is that what it is?
Yes. Yes.
I do not
Plus, I
blame
don't-
him.
I don't want him just stopping at that village for no fucking reason.
Or lack thereof of a village.
He just shows up,
Yeah.
everybody's gone. Where did everybody
Oh,
go?
Hello? Is anybody there?
Finds the giant corpses. No, we buried that thing already.
What happened? Oh no.
So, time for one of my favorite moments, because we had 2 for low, 1 for high, and I rarely ever see single digits. So,
Oh no.
you all continue forward. Your time spent traveling as you continue into the day. So, you notice as you travel smoke in the distance. Not
That's a rare sight.
not a massive amount of, you know, like forest fire amount of smoke or anything like that, but you do notice a campfire sized mote of smoke going into the air. And you notice as you continue forward down the path, along the left side towards the tree line, there's a small carriage, a homey carriage. It's an actual like a mobile home basically, and from the top of it you notice a chimney that spouts smoke that floats up into the air. Just outside are 2 logs and an ox that seems to be laying down on the ground asleep. On one of the logs sits a rather interesting figure.
Okay.
A old gray-haired scar-covered dwarf. In front of him, what looks to be, as they bounce around in the mud, playing in the rain, a very young kobold. Green
Okay.
scaled. Just playing in the mud. And you notice as you all are walking along, the dwarf seems to notice you almost immediately as he looks up, and you notice one of his eyes is just torn apart. It's like scarred over. You see a massive gnarly scar that wraps around almost the entire side of his face, and an eye patch that covers the spot where his eye would be. The other locked onto you. The young kobold seems to look to you all, but return to their playing as they dance around in the mud.
Does this person have spiked armor? I had to ask.
This person, you can't actually see what they're wearing underneath a very thick leather coat that they have just kind of draped over themselves.
Does he know what a kobold is? Yeah, I saw
Is
that.
anybody else seeing his
Mhm.
camera flash?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's been happening lately. I don't know what's going on. It goes green and then.
It's like a green screen.
What's a
No, I
kobold?
don't. I guess sure. A green screen. That's my entire
How
persona.
old is your camera? It looks good, but like
A
if it's
year.
old, then it might be shorting out. Wow. It
They gave me
definitely
the
shouldn't
old.
be, though.
They gave me the old version when I bought the new version. So
Mm.
my guess is I might just need a.
Ow.
Come on, my man.
Oh,
That's the dungeon master now.
Hello.
No. This is bad. We'll fix it.
I'm really
We'll
trying.
fix it.
I've got to
Darrow
move.
trips over a very tiny pebble.
I've got to move cameras around to do that.
I'm working on it.
My greatsword
Well,
fell
but-
out of my sheath and then beheaded the fucking dwarf.
With the dwarf being very good at aerobatics, does Neo shit, dodges it, and then
No.
does a sidekick to trip Darrow for it.
No. I'm gonna stab you.
You know, I'm being nice. You
I'm
refusing to
going
cut
to.
off my head.
I am going to. You don't need to fix it anymore.
I said I got it.
The wisp
I
my
just
head.
switched. I switched ports.
Nice.
So
we
I
go.
went from my external extended hard drive to the actual computer. So
Ooh.
that poor lever bit.
Trust me, his favorite chair is torn to shreds by his cats, but it still feels good to sit in.
It's gone.
Oh,
Why? No.
we will now see if the green skiing thing goes
Not
on.
lying. It was a it was one of my best finds I got from Goodwill. I got it for like 25 bucks, but if you look it up online, this chair costs like 2 grand. It's the most comfortable goddamn thing, but pardon me. My apologies. But it was the most comfortable thing. Oh, I remember now. We fostered a dog and it tore it apart. That's what happened.
Is that raw?
Yes, it's Raw who's clawing the crap out of me as she's
Dad. Dad,
just get into my lap.
There's new furniture, Dad.
Oh,
So, what do you think? What do you guys want to do?
ow, pain.
So the dwarf notices us, and I'm guessing they're more off the side of the road than.
Mm-hmm.
What do we do? Considering I was the one who took us on our last excursion.
Well, I, as
A
Thormir,
mid-new
I'm a
excursion.
ranger. I'm the one ahead of all y'all. I wave at them at distance, and I go up to.
Ormir,
approach
do you
the
know
old
them?
dwarf. I'm being friendly. Are you? This is in character, or is?
Yes, this was in character of. You know them, Thormir?
No, I do not. I've never met this dwarf before. Not all dwarfs know each other.
Hey, we're on an island. There's limited dwarves.
This is
Yeah,
not the
and I know every
island I'm
single
from.
gnome, and every elf knows every single elf. It doesn't work that way.
Really? I know every human.
That's a bullshit line. You know it.
No, not
Can you
every
prove it?
dwarf. No.
Yes.
How would you come across a NPC that your character would actually know?
Ah, Frederick. You most likely will get a private DM by Will going, "Hey, you know this person."
You have no idea who this dwarf is.
I figured as much. NPC image. Oh, so that's the Kobold child. And that's the dwarf.
Is Ferrati gonna be making friends?
You know, I like the beard. I respect the beard. Me and him are gonna be best of friends.
As you get closer and you wave and get as you wave and get their attention and get closer, the kobold child stops, kind of squints their eyes as they look at you, and then looks to the dwarf. It's them! They showed up!
Huh? Well,
Sorry, friends, but I don't think we know each other.
what are you, by any chance, waiting for us?
Are you the one who... What was our driver's name?
Aiden.
What, did Aiden send you?
Or Aiden.
It's you. Oh.
No, Uodin was the necromancer.
A
Lion.
lion.
Why do I think it's Aiden? A lion, yeah.
Because Athen is right above it.
You mean Athene?
It's Shathid!
No. Because we said Athene and you're like, no, it's Athene.
Yeah.
There's supposed to be a little nyeh over the E.
Did Ellen send you?
No!
I have no
Uh,
idea who this is. I would remember a kobold.
Oh, you don't remember every kobold?
No, I said I would remember if I met a kobold. This is probably my second one. Yes.
Hi. Who are you people? Why are you waiting for us?
She wants to see you.
Oh no.
She has information for you.
Who?
Who made the sheep?
She does. Just go inside.
Track.
I'm guessing the dwarf says nothing and just is very judgmental.
The dwarf is just watching you all. It's not that he's judging or anything like that. It looks almost like he's very sorrowful. But at the same time, like, in an experience, like, that's the only feeling he has left kind of thing as he looks back on his life.
That's depressing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very depressing.
Mm-hmm. But it makes sense.
Alright,
No, you can see that with the description that Will gave about him.
description.
So
But the kobold
Ooh.
seems very excitable, very happy, very, very happy-go-lucky. And
It's a child and a kobold.
so she points to the carriage. Just go inside. She has information for you.
I'm curious. Looks
Follow
at the
Lars
tall
to
stair.
the
Looks at the tall stairs.
grabs him by the collar and pulls him up onto the first step with me.
Shouldn't we be?
You're 4 foot, not teeny tiny gnome size.
Shouldn't we be a little?
I just
cautious
realized
of
I just
going
may
into a
have
carriage?
alerted one of my roommates on the other side of this wall. I just did a little knock.
Ormir, considering what we have fought within the past couple of days, I highly doubt that we're gonna have too much trouble with whatever can come through this door, so come on.
I don't like going into a carriage that they.
Okay, then stay outside.
I have another talk
with
to you.
the child, with Frida, right? Oh, that's what's her
Farida?
name.
Parati?
Ferrari?
Farati.
It's not Fritos.
I was very
Okay.
confused for a second. I was like, Frida?
I know it starts with an F. I'm trying to remember her name now.
This
I'm
isn't
so
Dark
used
Souls
to
3.
Jade.
It's not Dark Souls 3.
Mm-hmm.
You're not getting the shit beat out of you by none. Alright, calm down.
Farati.
Think
Like the
Ferrari
spell-
drinking tea.
Ferrari.
Farati. Well, I'll stay outside with Farati as you both
Walk up.
enter the carriage.
She has
Daryl walks up
information for
to-
all of you.
Launch my hand down and grab Thormir by the collar as well and yank him onto the first couple of steps. I guess you're going inside.
Why do
Oh,
you?
that's right. Manners. Clean, dry, clean, dry, clean, dry, clean, dry, clean, dry.
I was gonna say, I hope you don't forget the kid. Daryl walks up to the front door and knocks 3 times.
Looks to the dwarf. Dry.
Dry, dry. I just envision that, like, your cantrip, like, you use the dry on everybody else, but then for Thormir you use, like, wind, so it just leaf blowers his face.
I must ask, how much is left of my beard from that explosion?
Yes.
When it's information for all of you, it's creepy. Well, yeah.
That's why I'm so hesitant. While this guy, Darrow, is compelled to do anything that this little child says for us to go meet this suspicious woman in a fucking trailer to give us information.
Very fine. I could just cast my little wonderful tower inside
You
the
know,
curtain.
if things go sideways, then you can yell at me. However, until they do, shut the fuck up.
All I hear right now is there's a carriage and they're offering candy. Do you go into the carriage offering candy, and
I'll
then
give it to you for candy. How about that?
Absolutely.
If they can
Make
give
sense
me
about
your weight
Lars.
in candy, I will offer you the candy.
I completely
Me experience player.
That took him like a solid 10 seconds to get.
New player. Cautious. Veteran player. Oh, stuff. Yes. Show me.
Well, it's that. It's the fact that he's just sitting there like, I am skeptical of everything and everyone, and I'm just like, if he's gonna try and kill us, he's gonna try and kill us. We took down a mech, we took down Venom, we took down giant zombie guy, and then we
Okay.
had a bunch of little skeletons.
Now
I
let's
already
say-
told
We did all that
you.
already. Let's go.
I already told you. If I wanted to kill you, I'd kill you.
well,
On
yeah.
top of the list.
That's not really the top of my priority right now.
I'm just
My
playing my
guy.
character. That's really all it is. It's a part of
He
my
has-
character's
That's a good thing.
trait.
That's a good thing.
Yes, we're all doing that with this game, Matt. That's the point of the game.
Yep.
I'm just laughing over the fact that Lars is like, he's trying to kill me first, buddy. He has put a giant mech fist into your character, as well as
Twice.
the other, like, he did a giant tree trunk club with a giant mutated zombie on top of your character that bounced off. If he was trying to kill you,
You would have been
I'm
done.
pretty sure you'd be gone by now.
Magic.
Actually very
The
satisfying.
closest that we got was the very first one. I think that was when he was kind of like adjusting his settings of like,
It's
how
like
hard do I want to
shield.
hit?
Plus 8 to hit. What? What?
Does a 47 hit? I'm level 2.
True. Why? What third edition bullcrap is this?
As
All
you
creatures
all,
plus
The very
77 hit.
so you all are going in then.
Mhm.
Okay.
I knocked on the door. The door hasn't even opened yet, so.
Okay. Ferrati
Yes, I can-
is very, very curious as looking at the kobold. It, of course, is very interesting seeing something that she's never really seen before. She doesn't look like she's ever seen a kobold before.
Mm-hmm.
But you then notice that she takes very deep interest in the dwarf for a moment, just kind of scanning him as she like walks as you all walk towards the carriage. But then her eyes lock on the carriage, and she's now very invested in what's going on. But as you all lead forward, and as Darrow kind of yanks Thormir forward, you all knock on the door, and the door opens. You don't see any visible source as to why it opens or where it opened from, but you notice that it opens, and as you look inside, the inside looks more spacious than the outside, probably maybe like 2 or 3 times the size. Not much bigger, but enough space for people to actually be inside of.
Standard magic bullshit, got it.
Kind of. So, the door opens and you are invited inside, basically. Though no one is there to invite you in yet.
Darrow steps inside with a cautious hand on his greatsword, making it more or less look like it's not meant to be threatening, but just in case shit jumps out. Things are gonna die.
As you step in, and as you all step inside, the door closes behind you. And you look around and you see a number of different jars and very interesting little like collections of like flower pieces that are like floating inside the jar, but there's no liquids. It's a bunch of different collective flowers, plants, berries. There are a few animals, like small insects, larger insects, animal pieces, animal parts like horns and teeth. There's a massive collection in here. And you notice that in the middle of this room is a table with a number of chairs within it. You notice that there is one chair on one side of the table, and this large circular table has 4 on the opposite side. You also notice that from a small side door that opens, a woman steps out.
Is it Mary?
Black skin, humanoid features, with rather beautiful ember orange eyes,
Nobody we know. Got it.
and 2 deep black horns made of what looks like almost obsidian, kind of
Really?
jutting out of her forehead, with a long platinum white hair that is tied up in a very loose ponytail just at the top of her head, and it drapes down her back as she wears this very beautiful ornate gold jewelry that wraps around a black turtleneck dress that drapes down her body. These orange eyes seem to interestingly look at each of you before her rather soft but flat expression then turns to a very gentle curve of her lips to show just the slightest smile, as she then finds herself sitting in her seat and she smiles. Hello. It is nice to finally see all of you.
Morris is interested.
Interested how, buddy?
Squares over. And sit down. Like a kid ready to be read a story.
Well, damn.
Damn.
Morris is very interested.
Your banner is
Just the collective damn.
Do we know you?
Absolutely not.
As the gnome has said, you all don't know me, but I know you. Each of you with interesting little lives and interesting little choices made in them. The man who hides his history. The gnome who searches for answers to questions nobody asks. The dwarf that's searching for a real purpose. And the little girl looking for a place for herself. Each of you has made choices in this life. Each of your choices guided by one thing or another. Emotion, pain, disgust, happiness. Every decision you've made has been guided by something, all leading you down different paths. Please take a seat. I've found interest in your little group.
Are we dealing with more god bullshit?
Hmm.
Where's the cat?
Looking around, you notice that the cat is nowhere to be found.
Of course, when we need her to be around, she's nowhere to be seen. But whenever we don't need her around, she's sitting on my goddamn head in the morning.
She won't be here.
You know her?
I know of her.
Name drop? Question mark?
Please take a seat. We can begin
Just-
once you do.
I feel like it's probably best
He's
we-
just standing. Just-
Doramir goes to take a seat. Just intuition.
Really, because your intuition told you to stay the fuck outside 2 minutes ago.
Right now, we're in her carriage, and she going about how well she knows us. At this point, I am very interested as to how this will occur.
Agreed. I'm curious if
Okay.
he knows the answer. If my question, if I'm considered a leprechaun.
You're like a kid on Christmas right now, dude.
Now wait
Why,
until
you-
he eats his little sugary treats.
Darrow sits down near the head of the table.
Ferrati finds a seat almost immediately as she has been offered. She is very interested, and she does the little scoot thing to get her chair closer to the table as she's just tall enough to kind of sit over it, and so she's got her hands on the table and looking over the table.
I need one of you to make a picture using the Ferrari picture and make it Bungo Cat.
But nonetheless,
Oh.
as you all sit down, she then looks to the center of the table, and a deck appears.
I feel like shit's about to hit real.
A rather thick deck of cards has found itself sitting on the table. She then takes it in her hand, and she simply cuts it in half, puts them together, cuts it in half again, puts them together. Cuts it in half, puts it together. Before she then takes it to one side of the round table and just spreads each of the cards out.
We've been called here to play cards.
You've been called here to pick a card.
Merchants? Oh. Are you a gypsy?
Something of the sort.
And we only get to choose one card?
Only one. Unless the
Oh.
card says to pull more.
And how would we know that, so to speak?
The card will know.
Aye.
Every decision that you all have made, as I said, has been guided by something. Many believe it to be emotions. Others believe it to be logic. You may call me Fate for now. I think every decision made is made because you're following a path. And the path branches and changes based on the decisions put in front of you. But I'd like to see a glimpse of the possible decisions that may find you all. It is
Are
now.
these are they playing cards? Like, do they look like playing cards? Do they look like
Tarot cards.
tarot cards?
Yeah, I'm very familiar with that stuff.
You notice on the back of each of the cards there is two wings that are attached in the middle. One angelic, the other demonic.
And is it like there's a lot of cards, or is there's just a selective amount?
There are a total of 66 cards.
Nice. Alrighty.
Anyone that's drawing, I need to roll a
Nice.
D100, and if it's a 66 or a 67 or above, re-roll.
I'll choose a card. Damn it.
18.
Drop my dice.
Okay.
Oh, I just thought of a new dice design. Make a hollow, kind of a hollow yo-yo with a liquid, and then you could throw the.
I got a 4.
Another single-digit roll.
Leave.
What's up?
What'd you get?
I think he's helping Ellie.
What'd you get?
He got a
Barry?
4.
I got a 4.
Me?
Yeah.
I haven't rolled yet.
Oh.
If you're gonna pick out a card and help.
I got a 91. What do I get with that?
You get a re-roll.
What? What?
Take a guess at what I got.
99.
On.
99.
James. Yeah. Both wrong. 100.
Ah, well, you get to re-roll.
But I got 100.
Stop
Wrong
rolling
time,
high.
buddy.
Damn it.
The 1/100 of your of this campaign for you.
55.
55. All right.
As Darrow reaches for his card. No insult meant, but what exactly are you? Leaving it more open-ended as to meaning, occupation, status.
You can
What
call
the
me a
fuck she
fortune
is.
teller. You can call me an interested party. Whatever you call me, just know that your decision on your name for me is your own. There is no guide for that choice.
So Goth Mommy version 2.
No.
Considering that the other one
No.
seems to be like a tsundere, I'm not gonna risk that. No, thank you. I like my insides staying on the inside and not the outside.
What's the term for diametrics?
Dominatrix.
Yeah. Like we say goth lady, goth mommy, whatever. Is there one for dominatrix?
Dominatrix.
Or just okay. Yeah, that's a...
We call her Rose. Because that's the only fucking name she would give.
Rose?
Yes.
Rose Tyler.
All right. So we'll start with Lars, since he rolled first, which means he draws first. 18. Ooh.
Matt didn't get 18. Matt got 8.
I said James.
Or no. 4.
Mars is going first because he got his roll done first.
Mm-hmm.
The gnome really wants the answer to whatever the fuck the card's gonna tell him.
Am I a gnome or a gnome?
Oh no!
I'm gonna kill all of you.
I didn't say anything. I'm as disappointed as you are, if not more.
You sound like one of my parents.
Oh. Matt, you can't use the trump card all the time. Goddamn.
Oh, it's just more of a joke.
Alrighty.
Obviously.
Lars starting disappears into a cloud of smoke.
Lars. She looks to you as you notice that on the card that you draw, there's a man that he's in a race with 2 other people. And you notice that he is ahead by a good 2 or 3 bodies. And it looks like the other 2 behind him are pushing themselves. They're trying. But he's not. It's as if he's used to this. She smiles at you. The expert. Seems that you'll be making quick decisions and making quite a few quick thoughts and changes in the future. I do hope that you'll be light on your feet, but do remember to slow down. Going fast all of the time, whether it be physically or in that mind of yours, it could be dangerous.
She is preaching anti-sonic teachings. We will not have this.
Oh, dodging 9 the tails of the group here. Yeah, sure.
I think he's typing out how he's gonna kill us.
No. Neat. Question. Is it going to be just for me or for the group?
Are you talking about the description or what she's saying about the cards?
It's
We're all in a room
fate.
together.
Each card is your own fate.
Alrighty.
I think he's asking if we all hear it. Like, hear her talking to each other.
No. He's asking if he's going to be making the... Bill got it right. If I'm making the decisions for the entire group.
I'm not certain as to whether or not it will affect the group or just you, but this fate is your own. Keep that in mind. Your fate is intertwined with 3 others now. So these decisions may or may not affect just you. Nonetheless, She
Thank
then
you.
looks to Ferrati, who was very excited to draw a card, but seemed much slower than the already quick gnome, as she had to stand up out of her chair and then lean forward on the table to try and grab one. As she flips it over, you notice the image on this card. A map. Unrolled with a small image of what looks to be some kind of continent. And the card in her hand. Fate seems to look at her and go, well, seems you've pulled the map card. In the near future, something or someone that you know very well, you're going to reunite or find them. I hope that it's a good reunion. And whatever or whoever it is, I hope that they find you safely. Don't get lost in the forest looking for the trees, though. She then looks to Matt.
You
Matt,
mean Dormir?
Dormir. She looks to you. As you pull your card and you flip it over, you notice a book, a beautiful book, on the image of your card, with a bookmark about 3/4 of the way in that's hanging out of the bottom. A very beautiful silk, satin, shiny cloth bookmark. And she smiles. Book. It seems that the dwarf that's beating himself up over things that he should already know is going to have the experience of learning quite a bit more in the future. I hope that every lesson that you learn is for the better, though in that moment I'm sure that it does not feel that way.
Dormir just looks at the card for even longer.
She then looks to Darrow. On your card, as you pull it over, you look at it, and in the center of the card is a beautiful, blazing, bright sun. And she smiles. The sun card. It seems that you're going to gain quite a lot of experience in the near future. You're going to have experiences and things happen that will teach you quite a bit, and you will be rewarded for your experiences, good or bad. You will find something at the end of those trials. So I hope that you'll hold out for that.
Can't say I'm not intrigued.
She then takes the cards that are left on the table, and the 4 that are in your hands, as you look to her, disappear, and as you look back to your hand, they're gone, as she then reshuffles her deck. I hope that you all will have quite the interesting journey, and I'm sure that we'll meet quite a few more times in the future. But for now, that's all that I can offer you. Travel safely. Always trust in yourselves. And trust in each other. I think your little group is going to do just fine.
Okay.
She then snaps her fingers, and you find yourselves all standing in the middle of the road once again.
Looks right. Looks left. He opens up a small little pouch. Looks at it again. Mount. Closes it.
Frotty spins, trying to figure out where she is, and then looks around at the sides of the roads. There is no carriage. The ox is gone. The dwarf and kobold are gone. You see no smoke in any direction.
What the
Fucking magical bullshit.
Magic
damn it.
bullshit is wonderful.
Yeah, according to you, no.
Darrow, you
looks like
hear a
cat.
very irate noise in your ear as you hear a familiar voice. Where were you? Where did you go? You look down and
the
the cat is
fuck?
there.
Hey, she's back!
The others
Hi.
see the cat clawing at his leg.
Ow, okay, hey. And pick her up at almost arm's length by her, with my hands underneath the shoulder blades of the cat, just holding her out. Don't harm me! Be nice!
Looks like someone missed you.
Where were you? Where did you go?
We literally just walked off here and got into a carriage and talked to some fortune-telling lady, and then we got popped back out in the middle of the road. I don't know. We didn't go anywhere. Speaking of, where have you been?
Looking for you.
Lars, what are the chances that we went into an alternate dimension?
Highly unlikely. A different
And
domain
you're
of
sure
magic,
about that?
a different plane. Quite possible. You know about planes of existence, right? What's the deal with the cat? She looks like she wants to rip your eyes out.
I'll readjust and let her sit on my shoulders instead of.
She immediately
Being
bites your
held-
ear.
Knew
Like-
it.
Yeah.
Knew it.
Like her teeth
Not my
go.
fault.
Her teeth go through, like immediately.
Oh.
You now have 2 new piercings.
Takes 2 damage.
That's funny.
She's pissed.
Two piercing damage.
She's very upset.
I can tell.
God damn it, it's not my fault. I didn't open up a portal to wherever the fuck you think we went.
If I lost track of you, that means that you went into a pocket dimension that I have no power over. Where did you go and who did you interact with?
Fayte? That's all she gave us. Told you, some fortune-telling lady with a magical carriage, a dwarf, a kobold, and had us pick some cards.
She then seems to almost like
I'm not the only one who went in. These two went in as well. Why aren't you yelling at them?
She almost backs off at the mention of fate, the cards, all of that. She almost backs off immediately. She's obviously still kind of upset, but she actively takes a step back and sits. And it almost like, as if to drop the conversation immediately, we still have distance to go. It's time we get moving again.
Your cat's weird.
I'd watch your tongue or you're gonna get new piercings as well. Fuck me.
I could use some, especially on the top here.
Can we understand the cat or no?
No, it sounds like Darrow's talking to himself right now.
I'm having
Okay.
my first century crisis. It is said this is when we gnomes are in our rebellious stage. Bro.
My gosh.
Finally, Lars take a few steps forward next to the dragon. Just
Thormir just. Well, I'll be damned.
I'm just chilling. A little bit of just like, what the fuck just happened? Just. I didn't want to go in the carriage. You made me go in the carriage. I met a mysterious woman. I had to pick up a mysterious card, and she is saying that she knows me. And reads me a tarot card, which is still kind of just like setting in still. Okay.
well, that was fun. Onward.
And now Darrow's talking to himself.
I'm
Well,
talking
he's
to myself. I'm
to the cat.
talking to my cat.
I
It's
can't tell
different.
if you're talking to your cat or not.
I am talking to my cat. You can see I'm talking to a physical cat. You can see she's there. You both made comments on her. However, she seems just angry at me, and I'm explaining everything to her, and you guys think I'm nuts. Fuck you.
Just pets Varro's side. He's going crazy. Don't worry about it.
Here's the thing. You both got taken to the alternate dimension as well. You know exactly what I'm talking about, or why I'm talking to the cat. You shut up.
I went
Fuck
to a
you, Will.
different.
You make me seem crazy.
We're going to a. We went to a different plane of existence. Oh, that's fun. Why would a kobold be in a different plane of existence?
I have no idea. She just got mad about it, and apparently, if we hop dimensions, she can't find us or help us if we need her. So,
I
Yeah,
can't
also-
help in that dimension.
Following question, Darrow. What studs are you gonna put in there? Just scurries up.
throws a
No.
pine cone at Lars.
No, it's a shame I didn't get a chance to talk to that dwarf. I wanted to actually hear the stories. A real shame. Oh, maybe next time.
So you all continue forward.
Yep.
It's all we can
I
do.
have the cat on my shoulder, and we go.
Oh, she's actively avoiding you right now.
I put her on my shoulder. Like
and,
that's.
and she leaped off after biting the fuck out of your ear. She wants nothing
Okay.
to do with you right now.
It's just not my fault.
It doesn't seem like she's like outright upset anymore. It seems like she's still annoyed, but it looks more like she just doesn't want anything to do with you right now. And you're not entirely certain as to why.
Do we try to go back into that dimension again?
I have no idea if that's even a good idea, considering our little patron over there doesn't like it when we go anywhere.
It sounds like a controlling one-sided relationship. With sharp expectations.
Lars has never had this cat really interact with him, but it is staring at him.
And staring daggers.
If I were to learn the skill to talk to animals, would I be able to talk to her or no?
You don't know. You don't have the spell.
That is true. That's true.
I mean, you. Except the
Are
cat
you
looks
gonna
at
give
Daryl.
me a piercing? Huh? No? Okay.
It just looks the cat, looks at Daryl, looks the cat, looks at Daryl. Yeah, I'm not gonna touch that. Yeah, you're on your own.
Meow.
Come on, child, we have a road to travel.
You all continue forward. Travel continues with the rain falling once again. Your experience. No, quite a bit interesting.
As we
And
travel.
with
A drummer.
very little information, but new information nonetheless from the cat. You all continue for the day. The rest of the day seemingly very calm, save for the rain, which does seem to pick up a bit later into the afternoon. Your day of travel is further down the road now.
Yeah, righty. Just starts looking around the ground. Looks around the ground for 10 minutes. I like this spot.
What are you doing?
I have an odd feeling what he's about to do. We might want to step back a bit.
Pulls from his satchel. Copper? Or brick?
Pretty sure brick would be less wasteful considering we want to sell that copper.
Copper.
Well, it doesn't use up the actual material.
It just starts drawing a big circle. just 10 minutes of just drawing in the
You realize the
mud.
circle doesn't keep out owl bears, right?
Just starts
Regardless of what the
drawing.
child's rhyme says.
I got the copper. I got
Any
the
my boys out of here, I'm gonna sleep outside.
copper brick.
I'll give you an inspiration point for that one.
Me?
Yeah.
Was it me or was it him?
You drew a circle in the ground, and I was making a dumb SpongeBob reference with owlbears, and I said, you realize that circles don't scare off owlbears, even like the rhyme suggests, or the child's rhyme suggests. And he just immediately just starts grinning and just,
Okay, that's good.
I
Hey,
Inspiration, the way I work, inspiration is based off of this situation. With this, I'll give you a d6 of inspiration, so the next time you make a roll, if you want to add a d6 to it, just to ensure your roll, or you think that you rolled too low and you need to add a d6 to hopefully make that, you can add that to the roll.
okay. Hey, you liked it, don't even.
I gave an inspiration point. Be happy. That thing doesn't disappear. So, until you use it.
Mm-hmm.
And... Proper sour.
Just a tower of Lars. It looks exactly like you, but it's a house made of copper.
I'm not that good yet.
What are you doing?
This one is a big circle with on each side like a compass points north, north, east, south on each point, with the door in the center of north, between pretty much north and west, facing the back end of the road. The first floor is going to be a bath place.
A bathhouse.
Top one is bathhouse, and the next floor is going to be a bedroom for beds.
Are you like customizing your tower now?
I do that every single time. I decide what it wants to be. Inside is just copper everywhere. Copper baths, copper sinks, copper steam bath, copper shower.
How does the water work in that building?
It just does.
Magic.
Magically.
Don't ask questions. Magic.
Well,
There's
I'm
also
good.
a copper.
If you want a real like sciencey answer to work for this world as well, it constantly rains. Just put a funnel on the top of the roof. And it just stores water and then turns it into shit we can use.
Yeah.
Or, excuse me, Lars can use.
There's also a copper wooden barrel, perfect for the dwarf to bathe in.
You don't get the tub,
Wow.
you get the barrel.
Thank you so much, Lars.
And there's a normal sized bath, and then there's a child sized bath.
That's gnome sized.
Gnome size would be a bucket.
Bit more with the bucket.
Are you being bitten? Are you being eaten? You trying to get me by a monster?
Yep, and this around. Yes, will do.
Ooh. I think you have DM'd my actual cat. What the fuck?
Is there
Right
many
side or
windows?
left side?
Right ear or left ear?
My ears are protected.
For now.
Are there many windows in your tower or no?
Oh.
Second floor. Only.
Only second floor?
And this time I have a copper bar noble thing. It's a copper door place.
Can they be open or can they be?
So
are they just
pretty much a
closed?
bar door thing where you put the thing on. That's made out of copper this time. Because I don't think the child can lift that much copper.
Can you?
Now. This here. Specifically to
So the windows can't open. Well, I'm gonna set. They can't.
You are being so angry.
I'm gonna set up alarm at the front door.
Right. Yeah.
I'm just being true to my character for who he is.
Yep. And the gnome's gonna go upstairs. And just ritual cast Unseen Servant. Harbor!
I have a
Ferrati is
question.
going to watch Thormir set up alarm, and after he gets done and starts walking away, she's just gonna beat 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 beat.
What?
She learned from us.
She's
Oh no.
she's visibly having fun with it too as she watches your reactions.
Oh.
Here's the thing, Matt. You have a toddler. You know for a fact this is a fucking thing.
It is a thing. And I have it
Go on.
to my mental only, not audio, to everybody. So I'm just like, oh.
Would you like this world's version of an ibuprofen?
My character is really wanting ale. Ale, is it inside rations or no?
No.
Oh, he really wants ale right now.
Lars is upstairs with his second bottle of wine. There's 2 more to go after this one.
I have question.
Yes.
This is for Will. When it comes to rune carving, if I was to carve, because it says I can carve on anything that's basically wearable. If I carved on the ring for fire, would I be able to catch fireballs? Assuming I succeed the rolls needed to do so, or would I have to do that on like gloves or something?
Yeah. You can't really catch fireballs.
Spell absorption is like a very rare item.
Yeah,
Although,
you have spell
legendary.
absorption, but then fireball is a different thing because fireball is not a it's an explosive.
As Matt demonstrated with his face very abruptly.
Yeah, that's I'd love to rule of cool that. However, that is an explosion.
Okay.
That is an explosive. That is like catching C4 that is detonating in your hand.
Magic.
Me and James had another player try to catch a catapult spell with their bare hand at point blank range.
Does that player exist anymore?
He
Ken
does.
doesn't.
He does.
He's missing an arm.
We took a lot of explaining to him of how that works. But that would have been basically the equivalent of taking a shotgun barrel, putting it to your palm, and then just blasting.
This is a slug. Not pellet, slug.
Imagine someone had taken a shotgun barrel, put it against your palm as you're putting your hand against it, Looney Tunes style, and just fires.
What was the object? We presume it was pretty small because we... yeah. Anything 5 pounds. So that thing could have been big or...
Yeah,
same speed.
magic is fun. He was a monk.
Yeah.
It did not work. That's not how that works. You can't catch magic. You can catch normal ranged weaponry, like, you know.
Technically, I guess it does actually kind of somewhat halfway work, because especially catapults officially makes it a missile.
No. That would mean that he can catch magic missiles.
No.
Exactly. You can catch normal weaponry. You cannot catch magic. That is not how that works.
I'm going to block all magic.
But what if it did work that way?
Then that'd be
It'd
pretty
be
cool.
useless.
That'd be pretty cool.
Mage is like, ha, magic, catch. Well, I don't know what I'm gonna do then. And then there's the people like, oh, spell redirection or bouncing back spells is a great idea.
Until it isn't.
Screw that spell. Whoever thought of it? No.
But nonetheless, you all are able to get your long rest in. So
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Probably
Yes,
so.
my 2 damage that I received is now healed.
We can. And
your
with this, we
ear
can
holes
go
are
back
now
and-
healed. However, they are still there.
I have on Darrow's bed there is a copper sleeping cap. that goes over your ears.
How the
So-
fuck is this supposed to work?
What?
It's very heavy, and it doesn't really work. You try opening it, it doesn't work.
Frisbee it at Lars.
With the long rest, we do eat a ration, correct?
I mean, if you'd like to eat a ration, rations are meant to last the entire day. So as you're traveling, you'll be eating your ration little by little throughout the day, if you'd like to. If not, you're going to take a point of exhaustion because your character only lasts so long without food. However,
Most
as a DM, if I'm not mistaken, characters D&D 5e starvation rules.
isn't it 3 days?
Just a moment. It's just like breathing underwater, where you have a minute plus your con score. Characters who don't drink or eat suffer the effects of exhaustion. A character needs 1 pound of food per day and can make food last longer by subsisting on half rations. Eating half a pound of food in a day counts as half a day without food. A character can go without food a number of days equal to 3 plus his or her con modifier. At the end of each day beyond that limit, a character automatically suffers 1 level of exhaustion.
Just have a person with a -2 con.
A normal day of eating resets the count of days without food to 0. However, exhaustion only goes away with long rests. So if you have 3 points of exhaustion, that means you have 3 long rests to do before you can get that exhaustion away.
But technically what you just explained is we can go 3 days, not eating any food, eat food on the 3rd day, and then just eat every 3 days, in a sense.
If you would like, you could.
Without any repercussions.
However, there are repercussions. You're going to lose strength score, little by little, by a few points.
I'm not done here.
Because without the energy of food, your character is not going to be able to do as much.
Before we go to bed, I was gonna look at the table. Could you lift that over there for Carlos, please?
Do you remember what he's talking about?
The giant bar of with Porcala's store, the bridge, making it so the door swings in, so the wood, pretty much instead of wood, it's a actual piece of copper.
Mm.
I can't lift all that.
Darrow goes and locks the door, essentially.
Okay.
There's
So.
the plate.
You all get your rest in. Darrow is not awoken by a cat this time.
That has been established, yes.
Everyone gets their long rests. Everyone gets their health back, all their stuff back.
Why are you rolling for deception
The day begins.
and initiative?
The rain pounding against the side of the copper tower. Rest gotten the steam from the bathhouse down below, making this room quite not only warm, but it actually has been humidifying the room. So you wake up feeling really refreshed, actually.
Ah,
I was
Wipes
literally just
window.
thinking with the house being made of copper and it constantly raining, it would sound like sleeping inside of a fucking tin barn. Shit would be so loud. How the fuck did we sleep?
depends on how thick.
It's a lot of
it
copper.
is,
Unless you guys have a vein of iron, a bar of iron I could use.
Probably use my arrowhead.
This spell is actually pretty scary.
Can we drop it on the BBEG?
No.
Damn
There's an item that allows us to do that.
it.
While I'm in
I want it
Lars's-
so bad. Wait, I am never gonna get it though.
While I'm in Lars's tower, I keep on reading that one book.
Oh, no books
Uh,
today.
No books?
No books today.
Oh, shoot. Breaking my heart.
Hey, you wanted the bed or not?
I'll take the book.
Frotty is not in her bed. However, the alarm hasn't gone off. And Thormir then suddenly hears ding 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 ding.
Where's
Wake up,
Awake.
Thormir!
As the sound of the shuffling begins upstairs as everyone begins waking up.
He's looking up, writing his notes, and you should really put that outside now. What shouldn't you?
Goes to Ferrati. That's very...
You better be nice to that kid, I swear.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning, Ferrati.
I'm hungry.
Oh, what would you like to eat?
Could you help me learn how to gather berries?
Sure, not a problem. I can definitely teach you how to do something of the sort.
We're gonna look at the window.
But first
Makes me
things
wonder how
first.
This makes me wonder how she would wake up the rest of us.
I must ask, what were you doing there, setting off my alarm as much as you were doing?
Oh, I realized that whenever you use that spell and whenever I go to do something, it seems to let you know. So I figured I'd get your attention.
Very smart. Very smart. My head hurts, but very smart. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and say that, yes, if you ever need our attention, you can always come to us, but that is a sure roundabout way of going about doing so.
She then just sticks her leg out over the alarm.
Alrighty, well, let's go ahead and go outside and gather some berries then.
Do I see anything outside, or the nighting? Looking out each window.
You see the rain. You see what looks to be a rather calm day. You look out and you notice that the rain that had picked up last night has actually slowed this morning. And as you look out over the tree line, as you're a pretty good distance above a lot of the trees in this area, you look around and you notice off in the distance seems to be the top of a carriage.
From where we walked?
Coming. Darrow,
What?
we have company coming, approaching from the south. Because we're growing up.
Darrow rolls out of bed and grabs his sword and puts it on his back, walks outside.
Ferrati then lifts the copper bar out of the way and sets it to the side.
By herself. Lars walks down, sees it.
Lars, I don't think your plan did what you thought it would.
Iron next time.
Goes outside with Thormir and Ferrati.
If not iron, steel.
Lars squeaking in the tower.
I guess fucking perception check for the carriage.
Okay. So Lars
When everyone's
and...
outside, this is going to start lifting up mud from the entrance. 5 feet at a time. 5 feet, 5 feet, 5 feet. And there's going to be a 10-foot hole,
21.
leaving the door inaccessible to a point. That's a good idea. I should really practice that.
25.
What are you rolling for?
Perception, too.
Now I'm curious. He's going to start removing mud from the bottom to make it fall in a sense. See if that works.
So,
21 to see like if we recognize the carriage or who's on the carriage.
well, you don't recognize the carriage at all. You don't recognize the man on the carriage. However, you do notice that it is a covered carriage that's a decent size as well. It doesn't look like a merchant's or a gypsy carriage, but as it draws nearer,
Power can fall over.
as it draws nearer, you notice that it actually slows as it gets closer.
A random giant copper tower on the side of the road will do that.
And it stops probably about 50 feet away down the path. Before a familiar face sticks his head out the side.
Well, if it isn't a line.
Is it? Right. It's just slowly removing dirt.
But is it a...
Lars, what the fuck are you doing?
I'm trying to see if I can drop my tower. Well, think about this. If we're sieging something, I can make a giant thing made of iron or something, and see if I can get it to collapse over and fall over.
Oh, so you're digging under the front door?
Mm-hmm.
As you get under the door, it causes the magic to dissipate as the land that you had drawn the circle on disappears.
Well, that's disappointing.
This is your magic. How do you not know what it does and doesn't do?
Experimentation with your magic can always lead to exciting new possibilities.
Oh my god.
How do you think we discovered fireball? It used to be firebolts. Firebolts. Firebolt.
I don't know. Thormir, how did they discover Fireball?
Look at my beard. You'll be able to tell that.
Alrighty. Fuck, sorry. What's up? You're missing quite a lot of hairs.
Yes. I'll fuck around, you find out.
As you all
Anyways,
are talking, a
11.
lion gets out and makes his way over. You all made some distance. That's good.
We had a few adventures here and there.
Well,
Yeah.
it shouldn't take us much longer to get to where we're
Okay.
going, of course. So, if you all would like, we have a new carriage.
Who's the driver?
Fantastic.
The driver is another follower of the temple. Same as the
You
last.
trust him?
This one is forced to be here, so yeah.
So less than the other one, but he's here. So.
Oh no, I actually trust
Got it.
this one more than the other one. The other one wasn't a prisoner of the Faith.
Looks over. I'm good. Okay, I'm not gonna continue on that subject. That's fine. Okay, thank you.
Real quick line.
Well,
There's something that's been bugging me since we first met you. Around the temple. But could you please explain to me as to what was that individual outside that temple? The one with the burns?
He looks over at the driver, then to Thormir. Let's talk inside the carriage about that.
Okay.
inside the carriage, as opposed to 50 feet away from the carriage where he's less likely to hear us.
He can hear us.
Alright.
Alright.
Man, he's good.
As you all make your way back to the carriage and step inside, you do notice that it is, once again, dry. It is very nice. Not the nicest, but it is nice. It's well kept. It's clean. And as you sit down, a lion with his brown hair and his goatee seems to look to you all, and then to Thormir, before poking his head out. Alright, we're good to go. And sticking his head back in before closing the small window in the side of the carriage. If we had talked where we were standing before, he could hear us, and he would know something is wrong based off the fact that we're standing there talking. And here, he can't hear us.
What makes you so sure?
Because all of the carriages are fit for if higher-ups are meant to ride in them at any given point.
Valuable.
Oh, you gotta love churches and their bullshit.
Tech magic.
The tech magic?
Mm-hmm.
There's a ward on, it's a warding magic on the entire carriage, basically.
Is what he says true, Lowe's?
He's just looking at the sigil. I can't reach it.
Is what he says true, Gnome?
Some sigil. Protecting the carriage from something.
I believe he said he couldn't reach it, so he might need some upsies.
Grab him by the back of his fucking collar and hoist him fucking up.
He's just looking at it.
Do you need glasses, Grandpa, or can you not see it?
Didn't change any bit. I just went to go look at it. Thank you. You're
I
fine.
drop him from all the way up there
I know.
onto the carriage floor.
I take a point of falling damage. My leg!
Anyways, Elaine. You mentioned prisoner of the church, and obviously it brought to light the striking visual that we saw outside of your temple to Thormir.
Yes.
Why do I have a feeling that I'm not going to like this answer?
Well, everyone has different reactions on it, but for the most part, it's dependent. Each of the churches have prisoners of the faith. They are either people who have willingly put themselves in to the church's hands as almost a slave, or those that have gone against the church as followers. The prisoners of the faith are those that have willingly gone against the teachings in one way or another. And for the most part, it's not little things, it's big things. A lot of the prisoners are large issues. The larger the issue, the longer the sentence. The small issues that some of the followers have now and then can be prisoners of the faith for a day, a week, sometimes a few days, sometimes a month. But it depends on the transgression against the faith. And then you have those that transgress much more violently.
Such as getting their backs burned.
That is a repentance for their transgressions. If something that somebody has done is bad enough, how do I put this? If something
Assassination?
is done that is bad enough, they are reminded of the light. They are reminded of the God of the sun by getting them as close to the sun as possible.
You understand that's called immolation, right?
However, that is not all that happens.
Oh.
With Terra being the god that we all follow, the god of the sun is the god of all of the gods. He is the leader of them, of course. He is the wisest, and he is the one that dictates the other gods' actions. Terra, being the god of the elements, fire is one way to repent. Fire followed by the rain, water, followed by standing upon broken and shattered rocks for long periods of time, pointed usually so that you can feel it into your skin. That is the earth. And many that repent that way hold a small thunderstone in their palms, just enough to feel the numbness of lightning shocking their palms and slowly destroying their hands.
And warm in the back, cold in the front.
Fucking churches.
The
Yeah.
followers of Terra are simply extreme sometimes. But
Sometimes.
At least they're not dead.
we do not kill followers. We do not kill other people. There's no reason for that. There's no learning in that. There is no gain. It's a terrible punishment, but for the most part they take care of their followers and they take care of those that do not harm others or use the elements in negative ways. Our doctrine is very strict, but it's not strict enough that every single follower is going to transgress in one way or another. Respect the elements. Treat the elements with respect. Realize that we all return to the elements and care for those around you the same way that the elements care for you.
I'm just thinking, I'm surprised Zoo has not attempted to fight Terra for the possession of magic.
Well, I don't know much about Zoom myself, and I am a strict follower of Terra, but from what I know, magic and knowledge are separated for the reason of anyone can gather knowledge, but only a few are gifted magic. You can learn anything. Magic is something you have to learn. If that makes sense.
Weapons and but knowledge is required for it. So I'm just thinking, I just look at these deities and they sure have a lot that they control over.
Well,
In the end,
when so many of the gods were destroyed, there are so many left to take over what is left.
exactly. Right note.
But to answer your question, the reason we followers of Terra do not fight with Zu or his followers is because of the fact that, as I said, knowledge and the arcane are different. You have to have knowledge, yes, but you have to have knowledge of the arcane to practice magic. Zu's knowledge is knowledge of all things. Knowledge of history, knowledge of nature, knowledge of animals, knowledge of historical landmarks, the knowledge of where your spoon comes from. Zu, from what I know, is the god that looks over all knowledge of all kinds. And though he does dip into Terra's domain a little bit in the knowledge of the arcane, we do not fight with Zeus followers because knowledge is meant to be shared. Those that wish to practice magic, we teach how to gain that knowledge. But those that are seeking knowledge of anything else, we send to Zu.
Fascinating. How much longer till we arrive?
Well, it was originally 2 weeks, but with the headway that you all have made on foot and the short distance we traveled in the carriage before everything happened, we've got maybe half a week's travel.
Hmm.
A few extra days, maybe, because of the setback.
We certainly made quite a progress. Anyway, I'm going to take my turn of watch, I guess.
I did
24.
I did promise. Oh man, this is what happens when I drink. I did promise Ferretti that I would teach her how to forage for berries. So I might ask for maybe an hour, hour and a half, just for me to teach her some skills.
Of course,
This
we
would-
can stop. Just we can stop earlier than we would have normally for tonight, so that we can get everything set up and have everything ready for the night, and you can spend your time teaching Ferrati.
Oh,
Oh, correct. The little girl. She has a name.
totally forgot that. I didn't know his name. Man, stay away from me. Oh, I hate how much of a lightweight I am now.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Hi, Rob Rob.
Great.
Is there anything else that you all would like to do for today?
I'm keeping watch 24.
Okay.
Whenever you take, I'm gonna be intermediately on top of the carriage.
Okay.
As I've always been.
Right. Every hour. Looks out. Try.
Thank you, Lars.
Try. You're really crazy for this. Try.
You-
Why do you do this to yourself?
I do this so I have the best sense of what's ahead of us, to the side of us, or right behind us.
Dry. Watch out for that branch.
Dodges. It gets hit by a second branch. That can't be that cool.
Dry.
What's Darrow doing?
I'm just in the carriage at this point.
Okay.
Just chilling.
So, you all make camp for the evening.
Looks at Illidan. Did you get me a new alchemy supply set?
I did.
Oh, great.
I apologize that yours was broken before. I'm sorry that it was within our travel, but I was able to procure a new one for you if you'd like it.
I would love it. How much should you spend?
Don't worry about that.